Good evening, everyone. This is Mike Messner coming to you courtside from the Alumni Gym at St. Francis High School in Mountain View, California, for our contest between the Sacred Heart College Prep Fighting Irish and the St. Francis Lancers. If you were outside the Alumni Gym right now, you'd probably be getting really wet as we're in a rainy patch this week and this weekend, but it's very pleasant inside as the Lancers and the Fighting Irish are just about ready to go. Both teams are off to a slow start in the West Catholic Athletic League. As we can see here, Archbishop Reardon leading the pack with a perfect in-conference record. Mitty and St. Ignatius tied for second place, and then Sarah at 3-2. St. Francis and Sacred Heart with identical records, both well under 500, and of course Bellarmine and Valley Christian also in that tie for fifth place. The Lancers are on a 3-game losing streak at the moment. They're trying to snap that tonight against the Fighting Irish. As for Sacred Heart, they won their most recent contest, and they're going to try to extend their win streak. For tonight's contest, there's a few players that you, the viewing audience, will probably want to keep an eye on. The Fighting Irish are led by Frederick Purnell, number 2. He tops the team charts in both points per game and steals per game. Also notable is Michael Patton, number 5, and he has 3.5 assists per game and 301 total points this season. For the home team Lancers, Chris Vercelles, number 11, is the man to watch, especially downtown, as he's racked up no fewer than 9 3-pointers in recent games. Also, Nicholas Gulkaros Stavropoulos, number 24, is a rising star on the team in both shooting and steals, so you'll want to keep an eye on him as well. To give you an idea of the breakdown for both teams between the classes, St. Francis, 1 freshman, 2 sophomores, 8 juniors, and just 2 seniors, so a relatively young team. For Sacred Heart, who of course are based in San Francisco, just up the road here, they have no freshmen, 2 sophomores, 1 junior, and 9 seniors. So we'll see if any of that seniority and that playing experience comes into view or into the equation tonight. You can see the angle there. Taking a look at the Lancers there near the front of your screen. Their head coach is Rodney Tensian. He is assisted by Noah Stapes and Brandon Worthy. And it's a pretty good crowd here tonight for a rainy evening in Mountain View. And certainly grateful that Sacred Heart was able to make it all the way from San Francisco through the weather. Sacred Heart, their head coach is Caesar Smith, and Caesar's assisted by Harvey Carey, Kiyoshi Nishimoto, and Will Simpson. And you can hear both teams getting fired up for this one. Long history between these two schools. And of course in the West Catholic Athletic League, very large history. And I've got to imagine that both teams are a little bit dissatisfied with their experience so far. When you're talking about 1-4 records within the league, not something you can necessarily be proud of. The Fighting Irish do come into the contest tonight over 500 in their overall at an 8-7 record, but they are 7th in West Catholic Athletic League, and as I said, they were 1-4 in league play. They've been successful on the road. Have won 4 games and lost just 2. The Lancers can't quite stay the same. They are playing on their home court, but they only have a 2-5 record. So the numbers do tend to favor the Fightin' Irish, at least on paper. But as we'll see, anything can happen in West Catholic Athletic League, and it usually does. That's Alexander Glokaro-Stavropoulos, the center, set up there for the Lancers. He's going up against Jack Kennedy for the tip-off. Loose, and the Fightin' Irish come up with it. Driving along the left post, now back outside. Driving, dishes it out. Driving into the key, and deflected, and that's going to be a turnover, and the Lancers come up with it, and they bring it into the forecourt. Now back out. .19 on the shot clock. Loose ball, and the Fighting Irish are back out. Back in possession. At the top of your screen, now driving back into the key, and that's about a 10-footer. Won't go. Here come the Lancers. Now he's being double teamed, and that's blocked. And still no points on the board with these two teams. Turnaround, drive, tries to lay up. And the ref saw something he didn't like, and I believe he's going to the line. That's Jack Kennedy, who was there for the jump ball, and his first shot falls over. Jack's got a 40% free throw average. He's a senior, he's 6'4". And he won't make that one either. That won't help his average. He's got a 6.2 points per game. That's not going to help it. The Lancers trying to find an opening. Very flexible defense that the Fighting Irish are putting up. 5 on the shot clock. Puts it up, and it's long. Rebounded, and the clock's going to expire, and are they going to have to do an inbound pass? I think they are. Stop there. So far, the Fighting Irish have been double teaming anyone who's come into the key or close to it. And so far it's been successful. Of course, the Irish haven't had any luck putting points on the board yet either. Good screen. Underneath, and he misses the layup. And the Lancers are off again. For 3, nails it. That was Chris Vercelles, whom I mentioned to you earlier at the top of our show. And St. Francis leads it 3-0. Fighting Irish driving, and that time he puts it home. That was Kennedy who got the bucket there, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Drive now, dishes it back out. 9 on the shot clock. Quick passing, and it's rejected, and here come the Fighting Irish. 2-on-2, laid in. And that was Kennedy, I believe. And it's a 4-3 game. Attempted screen there. Bounce pass, and had a loose ball there, tried to put it up, won't go. And the Fighting Irish now slow it down. Driving, and he may have taken an extra step. He did. And that's the second turnover of the game on Sacred Heart. That was James Jordan with the inbound pass. I'll try to tell you as much about all of these young men as I can. Driving, that's about a 7-footer, and it'll go. And Chris Vercelles again, responsible for all the St. Francis points so far. For three, in and out. Vercelles for three, a little long. They're trading three-point shots right now. Now he drives, a little short, good rebound, good recovery, but still nothing, and the Lancers are at it again. And he traveled. That'll be the first turnover for the Lancers. That was Max Haberlock, the 5'8" power point guard there, turning it over. So it's a low score, but there's certainly no lack of excitement here, as we're headed to just under 3 minutes here in the first period. He's pivoting around for three, and off the iron. Rebound there by Max Ladd. Another three-pointer, and he nails it. Vercelles, and Sacred Heart wants a timeout. We'll step aside. It's 8-4 St. Francis. We'll be right back. We're back here at the Alumni Gym at St. Francis, and the Lancers jumped out to an 8-4 lead over the Fighting Irish here towards the closing stages of the first period. So far, it's been mostly outside shots, and if you needed proof of that, look at that one that just dropped at the hands of Corey Wong, the 6'1" guard, and it's an 8-7 game. For three, and it's in and out, but they get a rebound, in for the layup, and that's Max Ladd. 6'2", a junior guard, and it's back to a three-point deficit. Turntable dribble, and he's going to go just inside the arc, and it won't go. Fast break now. Pulls up. Ooh, that looked like an alley-oop shot, but in any case, it didn't count down for any points. And the top of the key, that's off the iron, and the Lancers have it back. 1 minute to play in the period. .21 on the shot clock. And the referee saw something he didn't like. And it looks like it was an elbow there on Cooper Gumina for the Irish. So we'll have some substitutions. We're going to have an inbound pass here in just a second or two. That's Quentin Robinson who will be passing it in. Quentin, a 5'10" junior point guard. And that pass is intercepted. Now on the fast break of the Irish, it's a 2-on-3, and now they settle it down. For 3 points, and it's down. And that was Corey Wong. And we got a tie contest with 20 seconds left in the period. St. Francis, no shot clock to worry about. For 3, won't go. Can they keep it in? They do, and then time expires. So, we've got 1 period of basketball under our belts, and the score is Lancers 10, Fightin' Irish 10. We got a lot of basketball left to play. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're back at the Alumni Gym, where we had a very exciting few minutes of basketball, and we've got ourselves a 10-10 tie. Of course, they switch sides at the half, but the Lancers now have possession. And trying to break this tie. Lancers did hold the lead for about half of the first period. Outside the arc, and that's just a little bit short. They get their own rebound. They got a new 35 seconds. Referee saying play on. Driving, now dishing it out. Lancers can't find the lane. Maybe they do now, and it gets away from them, but they do maintain possession. It's 8 on the clock. Driving, and off the glass. Too hard on that drive, and here come the Irish. 2-on-3, and it's a loose ball. And what's the referee going to say? It looks like it was a hand check there. So the Fightin' Irish will get the ball. That is Zamori Urfi, number 3, with the inbound pass. Now he dishes it out from downtown, and it rolls off the rim. Another one for 3. Good rebound there by Purnell, whom I told you about. He goes for the shot, and he buries it. And now the Fightin' Irish have a 12-10 lead. That's Frederick Purnell. And that one won't go. That man is 6'11". He's number 32, Alexander Glakaros Stavropoulos. And we'll take a timeout. We got a 12-10 ball game, and it's been a pretty good contest so far. So just to refresh your memory just a little bit and add in a little bit of statistics here. The tallest member of the St. Francis team, as I just said, was Alexander Glakaros Stavropoulos. He is a junior, standing 6'11". So when he goes for a jump shot, it almost looks like a pass, and that's why I made the observation not long ago that it looked like an alley-oop pass. The tallest players on Sacred Heart are both 6'4". That's Jack Kennedy, number 10, and Jonah Gurin, number 11. So height advantage has to go to the Lancers right now. But the points belong to the Irish as they bring it back into the forecourt. Driving. That one's going to hang in the air. A little bit of a tussle for it. And it looks like we might be heading for a jump ball. No, it's going to be Sacred Heart that comes up with it. I can see that James Jordan is coming into the game for the Lancers. So is Christopher Sellers, two of the players that started this game for the Lancers. So they're back in after a little bit of a breather as the Irish bring it into the forecourt. Driving, that one's going to go, and was lost his balance. Now the Lancers trying to settle it down. Again, looking for a path to the hoop. Screen there. Turnaround jump shot. That's an air ball, but it's recovered momentarily. And then the whistle blew. And we're going to see an elbow there. And that's going to go against Sacred Heart. I didn't see who got the call. That's a 10-footer and just in and out. And now the Irish have it. 3-on-3. Going for the layup. And it doesn't get any more basic than that. And that was Jack Kennedy again. Kennedy also does. Now that one's bounced around. And who took a seat on the floor there? That would have been Purnell. And we're going to get some more substitutions now. Haberlack coming in for the Lancers. And Corey Wong coming back into the game for the Irish. 14-10 with 5:15 to go in the half. For three, that's off the iron. The Lancers come up with it. And short one, and well done. That was probably about a 4 or 5 point or foot shot, and the lead is down to 2. Driving, and he's going to take a seat. I think he wanted a charge. He's not going to get it. Three-pointer, and the Lancers have the lead again off the hot hand of Chris Vercelles. And both teams want to get kind of a reset, and so we'll take one right now. It's 15-14 St. Francis. We'll be right back. Back here at St. Francis High School, where the Lancers, as a result of some three-point shots and some very successful defense, have regained the lead over the Fighting Irish. And a lot of that has been due to, as I said, the three-point attempts that have been made. Both teams have made several, although St. Francis has been more successful with theirs. Most of the Sacred Heart points have come from shorter shots, and many of them layups or shots from inside the key. And here come the Fighting Irish, down by 1. Turnaround jump shot, and it's good from about 4 feet out. And we got a 1-point ball game the other way now. Now some backcourt defense. Or a full court press, as we might say. Driving, and he got away with that one. Great balance shown there by Haberlack. And now it's 1 point in favor of the Lancers. For three, down it goes. And that's Jonah Gurin, a 6'4" senior forward. And what do we have here? Well, we're going to have an inbound pass. Purnell will make that pass. For three, and it's off the rim. Ooh, a little bit of a tussle to get it, but St. Francis comes up with the ball. Oh. I think that may have been a shooting foul. Nope. Yes, it will be. Alexander there had a double-double against Hayward back on December 9th. I don't have any statistics on his free throws. He is a junior, so he's got at least one more year of eligibility here for the Lancers. And I've got to think that his brother Nicholas, I've got to assume that that's his brother. And he makes that one. So now we got a tie contest again. 3:23 to go in the half. And you can see a disgusted look on Frederick Purnell's face because he didn't think he'd turn that ball over, but he did. And here come the Lancers, down by 1. Now he's double teamed. Sacred Heart looks like they came up with it. Now we're going to trade off. I think it might be a St. Francis ball, and it is. A lot of double teaming tonight by the Irish. Their defense has been a lot more mobile than St. Francis, but then the whole team has been mobile like that. And that one drops in. And so the Lancers have it again, have the lead. That's James Jordan, the 6'2" power forward junior, who laid that one in. Now Sacred Heart's slowing it down a little bit. 5-footer, and that was partially blocked. And the whistle goes. And that's going to be on Alexander. And Purnell go to the line. Frederick Purnell, free throw average of 79%. And that one wasn't one of his best shots. He's played 64 games. He's got 259 points coming into tonight's contest. 49% from the floor, 35% at three-pointers. And he makes that one. Locked up again at 20. Driving from the foul line. Now that was Nicholas Gavros Stavrakopoulos. Oh, loses the ball. Jordan, and then a 6-footer. That's an air ball, goes over the back of the rim from just outside the foul line. And may have been a loose ball foul there. That'll be a holding penalty, I think. And the Lancers came up with it. Now some more full court press. Sort of a loose full court press. That's Ladd. Vercelles now back to Ladd. Ladd driving, 8-footer, and it goes. That's Max Ladd. And it's a 2-point lead now. Minute and a half to play in the half. Left-handed jump shot, and loose, and Sacred Heart comes up with it. For 3, too hard off the iron. For 3 again, and that one's also off the iron. Sacred Heart looking to lock this up again. Driving, now dishes it back out, now across the court. And he did lay it in, although I think some of the St. Francis fans were thinking that might have been an extra step. But we've got another tie game with 40 seconds to go in the half. Stolen, and no, stolen back again. Clock is still running. 23 left in the half, 11 on the shot clock. Oh, Nice screen there. Three-pointer. And it falls. And that some suspense. 25-22. For three. And not quite there. And we go into halftime after some exciting play on both sides. We're halfway through with this one. It's the Lancers 25, the Fighting Irish 22. We'll be back for the third period right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to St. Francis High School. We're just about to get started in the second half of this contest, and it has been everything that we hoped for. It's been a fairly even contest on both sides. As is typical for basketball in this decade and maybe in this century so far, the majority of the points have been from downtown. They've been three-point shots, but refreshingly, there's also been a fair amount of shorter shots and drives along the post on both sides of the ball. So far, St. Francis has had the advantage in points, but they have also turned the ball over enough times so that they've allowed Sacred Heart to hang around. Of course, the teams are now switching sides, and we'll see what happens as the second half of this contest is underway. And right away, they went for the three-pointer, and we had a stoppage in play. Didn't quite see what the referee said, but St. Francis does have it, so that is going to be counted as a turnover. And here come the Lancers. Turnaround jump shot, that's going to go off the glass, and St. Francis will retain possession. That was Haberlock who made the inbound pass. That shot won't go, and here come the Fighting Irish. Pump up, and now intercepted, and they keep it in bounds, but possession stays, and beautifully right under the net, and caught the Lancers napping. I think that's what you might call as a spread defense there, in football parlance. So now it's a one-point game. Now going along the left post and dishing it out for a three-pointer, and it's down, and that's Max Haberlock, the 5'8" sophomore. Yeah, I don't have any statistics on his shooting, but that's going to add to him. Left post. Again along the left post, and that's going to be on either Gurin or Versellas. I think it may be Versellas. Sacred Heart retains possession. And Versellas knocked that ball back out, and so the Fighting Irish will try it again. Ooh, a little bit of a heartbreak there. And now Sacred Heart trying a little bit of their own backcourt defense, or actually they had done that before, I beg your pardon. Now, how do you defend against that? And the answer is you don't. You have a 6'11" junior who has an advantage over you of at least 7 inches, and there's not much you can do about it. Except if you are Jack Kennedy, you can come in for the layup, and that may be the key going ahead for Sacred Heart. But it's still a 4-point lead for the Lancers. For three, and he buries it. Nothing but net for James Jordan. He's certainly made his presence felt, and we have a 7-point game all of a sudden. Now Sacred Heart's going to have to play some catch-up ball. They're not used to doing that. that might have been on Jonah Gurin. Or it was inflicted on Gurin, and he'll go to the line. Jonah Gurin, 6'4". He's a senior, playing forward. 66% from the line. But only a 43% shooting average overall. And he gets that one. So 1 for 2. The lead's cut to 6. Some double teaming there. But again, leaving their teammates open. Screen there. Out of the corner, that one's going to be off the iron. And now with the fast break, and they lose it. And here come the Lancers, and it's going to be a 3-on-2. Put in from under, and the big man tried to get the rebound a couple of times. And now here comes Sacred Heart. Long pass down and a good layup there by Jack Kennedy. And now it's a 4-point contest. So Sacred Heart going on a little bit of a run here. Kennedy comes flying in there, and that one's going to go in and out. They do get the rebound, another in and out, and that one is out of bounds. The Lancers will keep it. Went right into the St. Francis cheer squad there. We saw those young ladies performing a little bit earlier during halftime. For 3, and that's Max Ladd, I believe. Now it's bouncing all over the place, but they do get the layup. And that's Nicholas Stavropoulos. I don't know how tall he is, but he certainly seems to be nearly the same height as his brother. Ladd with the rebound there. For 3. And off the rim. They get the rebound. They're going for the layup, and they're not going to get it. But they do draw the foul, and Nicholas is going to go to the line. Nicholas is only a freshman. He's played power forward, and of course he'll double as center with the height that he has. Had 2 steals against Half Moon Bay. Had a pair of 3-pointers against Hayward. And a pair more 3-pointers against Carlmont. These were all back in December. And he sinks his first free throw, and it's back to a 7-point lead for the Lancers. And there we go. Make that an 8-point lead. And now Sacred Heart's going to have to get it in gear. Because if you give a long lead to the St. Francis Lancers, they are not going to let go of it. And Kennedy will go to the line. Kennedy's averaging 6.2 points per game. Free throw average of 40% coming into this game. And up until tonight, I don't have the specifics for first half, but up until this game, Jack had never hit a 3-point shot. And 1 for 2. 7 points, so took a little bit off it, but they're going to need more than that if they want to stay in this game. Now back to the double teaming. And Sacred Heart's getting a workout here, I'll tell you that much. Now driving, and now back outside the arc. That is Justin Nguyen, who is dribbling around there, number 4, and that one's in and out. And what do we have here? Stoppage in play. Sacred Heart's going to keep it. And there might have been a reach there by Nguyen, who's a senior point guard. Evan Lee coming into the game for the Lancers, and that's Corey Wong. And we saw a little bit of Corey in the first half. So now they're both in the contest. Sacred Heart trying to make the inbound. And Corey Wong can't believe it. I think he may have stepped over the line there. So the Lancers have the ball. For three, and that goes off the side of the backboard. Not well lined up. Fighting Irish driving. Drew a foul there. Is the bucket going to count? I couldn't tell. And it is going to count. So now we've got a 5-point game. And Fedrick Purnell at the line. We've seen a lot of Fedrick. We've talked a lot about Fedrick. I think he leads the Fighting Irish in free throws. And that shows why. So now we're back to a 4-point game. Sacred Heart is in the bonus at this point. But the Lancers still have the lead. Here's Ladd pivoting it around. Three. Shot clock almost expired, and it's in and out. So now Sacred Heart with a chance to cut the lead a little further. Driving, beautifully done, draws the foul, and he will go to the line. And we're down to a 2-point deficit, and Purnell back at the line. Haven't we been through this before recently? I think we have. Now some more substitutions. Versellas comes off and Casey Lazo, number 3, in. Also Justin Nguyen off and Quentin Robinson on for the Lancers. And here's Fedrick Purnell. And that one has got to be disappointing. And very quickly, the Lancers move it down the floor. Sacred Heart says they have it. But I think this is going to go to the Lancers. And Quentin Robinson making the inbound pass. For 3, and he dumps it. And that was Evan Lee, his 6'2" sophomore, who has played shooting guard and shooting forward. Now Purnell off the rim. Loose ball. Now we're not sure who has. Now Sacred Heart does have it after a little bit of a tussle for 3. And that one's a little long, but they get the rebound. Up again, and that one falls. And now it's back to a 3-point deficit. Good persistence there on the part of the Fighting Irish. And the whistle goes. And that's going to count as a turnover, and I believe that may have been Nicholas Glaros-Stavropoulos. Not a statistic you want to be proud of. So we're just under a minute to go in the third period. Sacred Heart looking to come within 1 or maybe tie it if they can get a 3-pointer off. Screen, now they're trying to dish it off. 18 on the clock. Driving. Now he's stuck under the pin. He doesn't know what to do with it. Driving again, 9-footer, nothing there. And now triple teaming, and Nicholas steps out of bounds, and it's going to be a Fighting Irish ball. So now the Irish with one more chance to bring this home. And that's Michael Patton, whom I mentioned at the top of the show. He's come on now for the Irish. 18 left in the period. Driving, dishing it out, and goes for the layup. It's a little bit high, and the Lancers get the rebound, and they may just want to eat the clock and get rid of this period. And they go for the final three, and it won't go. So we've come to the end of three here, headed into the last quarter of this one. It's 40-37 in favor of the Lancers. How is it going to play out? We'll find out when we come back. So it comes down to this here at the Alumni Gym at St. Francis. The Lancers holding on to a 3-point lead, but Sacred Heart came back very hard in the third period. And I think we're going to have a fantastic finish in the next 8 minutes. So now the Lancers trying to build on that 3-point lead. For three, and that one's just going to be a little short. Sacred Heart's going to let that go out, and they will get the ball back. Cornell making the inbound pass. And here they come. That's Michael Patton who had the ball there. That one's tipped. Out of bounds. Good attempt for a steal there by Haberlack, but the Irish will maintain possession. St. Francis really wants this game badly. And looked for it now, driving, and all kinds of trouble there. That was just a dome over his shooting arm. And Jonah Gorin will go to the line. Jonah Gorin, 66% free throw average, and that'll add to it. Came into this game with a 43% shooting average, but not very many points. Although he was averaging 5.9 points per game. I don't have a full total on his season. So we've got a 3-point game now. Or should that should be a 2-point game. It's 38-40. Back down. Now back to the double teaming a little bit there over in the corner. And that one's going to go out of bounds into the St. Francis stands, and Sacred Heart is going to get it back again. And that may be one they would want to have back. Well, we got a timeout here. It is 40-38 Lancers. We'll be right back. Back here at St. Francis. And the Lancers now with just a 2-point lead and plenty of time left. Sacred Heart doing everything that they need to do. They're using pressure defense. Their shooting has been accurate. Not quite as strong as the Lancers on rebounding. The Lancers have missed a fair number of 3-point shots since the second half began. But from what this reporter is seeing, the Lancers are really starved for a victory right now. So if you had to go by just the spirit of what's going on, I'd say I'd have to give it to St. Francis. For three, that's a long one, and that's going to be off the rim. I think he might have wanted that one back. And again for three, and that one's also off the iron, and that one is going to be a St. Francis ball. Heck of an effort there to get the rebound there, but it didn't work. Haverlock will make the inbound pass. And immediately for three, and that's going to be short. Great rebounding effort. And that is going to be a turnover. Another unforced error by the Lancers. They still do have the lead. And that is going to go on Alexander. Or is that Nicholas? I only saw the two. No, it's Alexander. For three. And that one's in and out, and that's got to be a heartbreaker. Sacred Heart trying desperately to close that two-point gap. Gets away from the Lancers. They will maintain possession. And Sacred Heart trying for a turnover, and they're not getting it. Almost lost that one. Downtown. I'm not sure where that rebounded, but it didn't go. And here come the Irish, looking to tie it, maybe take the lead. Driving, missed the layup. And Purnell didn't like that one at all. So now he held back a little bit. Maybe he was hoping for what's happening right now, but if that had gone and they had extended the lead, that wouldn't have been something they would have been proud of. And now Purnell's down again, and another missed layup. And the Lancers keeping it. They won't have to manage the clock just yet. And it's intercepted. And now Sacred Heart may be thinking the third time's the charm. And that looked like he may have taken an extra step from my angle. But Sacred Heart will keep it. And the foul is going to be on number 12, I think. So that's Haverlock who's called for the foul. Evan Lee coming off and Max Ladd coming back on. Now the inbound pass coming up. And he's left completely alone was Frederick Purnell, and we have a tie game. St. Francis really gave up on that drive, and they should not have done that. Three-point attempt in and out, and it's passed back to Sacred Heart. Now they come with a 3-on-1 layup, and they take the lead again. 42-40 with 4.5 left. Still plenty of time. Anything can happen at this point. But Sacred Heart achieved their goal after a few frustrated attempts. And the Lancers want to take a timeout, and I don't blame them. 2-point deficit. Sacred Heart has the lead. We'll be right back. Well, Sacred Heart has the lead with 4:18 to go in this contest. The lead has changed a whole bunch of times this evening. I said earlier that St. Francis was hungry for the win. They certainly are that. That being said, they have made some kind of unfortunate mistakes. They have had two costly turnovers just in the last couple of minutes, and they left Frederick Purnell completely alone as he drove through from the left side and laid it in. A shot that they could have defensed very easily, but for some reason or another decided not to. So here come the Lancers. Now they're down 2. for three, and that one's in and out. And missed three-point shots and turnovers have been the bane of the St. Francis existence in the past few minutes. So Sacred Heart's got the ball again. Bringing it into the forecourt. Purnell again. That goes in. That is going to count. He's going to go to the line, I think. Yes, he is. Although we are not in bonus territory yet. The Lancers have 4 fouls this period. And now they are 5 points behind. Sacred Heart has not committed a foul in the 4th period. Screen way back there at half court. Screen, but it's not gonna fly. You notice that the Lancers have both of the big men in there. And that one's blocked. And another turnover by the Lancers. Well, I never. Just about 3 minutes left in this one. Sacred Heart. And that time it didn't work out, but the Irish do get the rebound. And it's laid in, and now it's a 7-point deficit. And now St. Francis is going to have to start thinking about putting it into a higher gear. Because 7 points down with 2.5 minutes to go in this one. And Nicholas did draw the foul there. That's the first foul that Sacred Heart has made in this game. All right, excuse me, in this quarter. They haven't been quite that flawless. All right. So now we've got ourselves a 6-point game. That one will go off the rim. So the Lancers shaved a little bit off that lead, but pumps. Now dishes it out for 3, and he buries it. There is Gil Facone, a 5'10 senior, who got that three-pointer, and it's a 9-point lead for Sacred Heart. And we're at 2 minutes in this thing. Now it's down to 7. But 9 minus 2 is still 7, and we got less than 2 minutes left in this contest. St. Francis is going to have to step on the gas. They want to come away with this, and now Frederick Pennell making his presence known yet again, as it's still now a 9-point lead. For 3, oh, that one almost got stuck in the rim. St. Francis will keep it. Happens all too often in youth and high school basketball where a ball will get stuck between the rim and the backboard. It's a funny thing. I don't know what the rule is, and that one's blocked. And that one landed off the glass just a few feet from our booth here. And I think St. Francis is going to have another inbound pass. There's 1:24 left now. 9-point lead for the Fighting Irish. And that may have been a reach. And it will be called on Michael Patton, number 5. Oh, heartbreaker, but they do get the rebound. And it's now 7 points. So now Sacred Heart may want to just eat some clock because we've got just over a minute to go. And a 7-point lead for the Fighting Irish. Both teams I believe, St. Francis has 2 timeouts, Sacred Heart has 3. And that's going to be a foul on Haberlock. And that brings Sacred Heart into the bonus. And it's not looking good for the Lancers, I got to tell you. Michael Patton. He'll drop one there. Came in with a 68% free throw average, 301 points on the season. Had not blocked a shot before tonight, and I don't know if he has this time. And that one's going to be a little bit short. Less than a minute to go, 8 points separating these two teams. Nothing that a few three-point shots can't take care of. They did get a layup there, bringing it down to 6. Sacred Heart taking a timeout. We'll keep it here. When you look at the deficit between these two teams, and you notice the fact that now the Lancers, for the second period in a row, have gotten into foul trouble, and you factor in the fact that St. Francis can only stop the clock one more time, you got to think that the Lancers are going to have to get desperate, and they're going to have to get more accurate with their three-point shots, because that has been the story of much of the St. Francis offense for the last 7 minutes and maybe further back. Plus 3 really hurtful turnovers. So St. Francis is on the verge of its 4th straight loss. And predictably, we have the foul there. That was on Max Ladd, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll head back to the other side of the court. And your shooter is Jonah Gurin. And he makes it. 7-point lead again. And the Irish are going for 8. And he makes it. And this may end up being a very thoughtful weekend for the Lancers, although they do get that three-pointer there. Great shot. It's down to 5. And it's going to go. There's a lot. Oh, spectators don't like that one at all. Sacred Heart ball. Quentin Robinson in now. And now we have, this is full court press at its peak. 28 seconds left. Trying to make an inbound pass, and St. Francis comes up with it. They get the layup, and now it's a 3-point game. They did draw the foul, so we may have more of a fantastic finish than we had bargained on. Frederick Purnell at the line, looking to make this a 4 or a 5-point game. And he misses. So it remains a 3-point game. It may be 4, but St. Francis, their hunger for a win after 3 straight losses may be the deciding factor tonight. And it is getting loud in the Alumni gym. And he made that one. 20 seconds now. Now they don't have time. They're driving. Back out for three. Off the iron. 7 seconds. Good wrap-up of the ball there. Intentional foul. Doesn't really matter at this point because they're already in the bonus. We have 7.1 on the clock. It's a 4-point lead. Gurin trying to extend that. If he misses his shots, then the Lancers still have a prayer. And he made that one. So now 5 points. And 6 points. And now St. Francis. Whoa! Full port press, and that is going to do it. As Sacred Heart hands the St. Francis Lancers their 4th straight loss by the score of 58-52. And there's going to be a lot of thinking done over the weekend in some of the homes in Mountain View and Los Altos Hills. That's me there on the screen. Hopefully I've done justice to all of you. Thanks to Matthew Carlson-Johns. Great to be working with you for the first time, Matt. Our producer was Jacob Peterson. And Jacob, we had a long absence there, but it's great to be working with you also. Special thanks to St. Francis High School and the Mid-Penn Media Center. Till next time, this is Mike Messner reminding you, run for the roses, but don't forget to stop and smell them. Good night, all.